Okay, hi everybody. This video is to highlight a major flaw in Push. Push is the new capture device for Ableton Live. The flaw that I'm about to highlight stops you from really being productive. It requires the use of both hands when one finger should be enough. Okay, so let's begin. First thing we need to do is we need to check our preferences. In preferences we choose record. We go to the record tab, and when we do so we have the option to have ARM and solo exclusive enabled or exclusive disabled. If you disable it, you can ARM as many tracks as you like. If you enable it, you can only select one track at a time. For example, you'll do this when you select the next track, it disarms the next track, etc. But if you go to options and preference and choose to disable exclusive ARM, you can ARM as many tracks as you wish. Now we come to Push. Here's what happens with Push. We have disabled exclusive ARM, so we can ARM as many tracks as we wish in any order. With several tracks armed, we try to do the same thing with Push. Select the track you want to enable, press it again, it's enabled. What has it done? It has disabled all your other tracks. You did have several tracks, and no matter how many times you try, it'll always disable the tracks. Pressing several tracks at once doesn't seem to make any difference. You're still going to disable your tracks no matter what you do. The only way to enable more tracks is to come back to the computer and enable them manually. If I was actually performing and I was on the keyboard and I came over here to enable this track thinking everything was fine, it disables every track. You cannot normally enable more than one track with Push. It'll always force you into exclusive mode. If I was using Launchpad, this wouldn't be a problem. Push just forces you into exclusive mode. This is a major flaw with Push. It means that while you're performing, you're going to have to use two hands if you want multiple tracks. You can use Shift. Shift is here, but now you can do this and do this and it'll enable track. But you've got to always come back here and do this to enable track. You have to come up, enable track, come up, enable a track. So that means while you're performing here and you're trying to capture your performance here, all of a sudden now you realize you need to enable this particular track. Well, now you've got to stop performing, you've got to press Shift and do this. Now come back. That just does not work in a live environment. I have been in contact with Ableton. So Ableton have basically said that this was by design and they have no plans or will not even reveal any plans to change it, even though on their own forum people are already stating that this is unacceptable. It is not the way Ableton is supposed to work, and they can't understand why exclusive record is being forced upon them. Ableton say it's by design, that's the way it's going to be. I mean, myself, I need several tracks enabled. I need to have them always enabled and to be able at any time to enable or disable any other track. But while I'm performing here, as soon as I press this, I'm gone. This has to be a major flaw that has to be fixed. This basically means that I've got to use a separate controller in order to facilitate enabling other tracks. I have to use a second piece of hardware. Ableton promote this as being a device that will basically allow you to capture your work without the need to go near your computer or laptop. This demonstrates that they have completely ignored whatever Ableton is supposed to be doing, and have decided to develop the Push as a separate device that will do things separate to what you prefer, or separate to the preferences that have been set in Ableton. The only way around this that I can see is I have to return this device, because it is basically incomplete, it's unusable. I'd be better off just using the Launchpad. The workflow is completely destroyed because you cannot use it in a live environment. It forces you to stop using one of your performing hands in order to enable another track, or in order to stop it from disabling other tracks. There is absolutely no logic to this whatsoever. I recommend that people reject the Push completely until such time that Ableton fix this flaw. Thanks for watching.